This video is brought to you by Holy Shit VPN. I'm just kidding. If you haven't seen the previous video in this series, follow the link on your screen or click the link in the description or pinned comment below.
Flawless victory.
41 seconds of logos, and that's way too long for a Mortal Kombat movie to go without showing one decapitation.
I somehow doubt you would have acknowledged or even removed a sin for something like that, considering in your Zombieland 2 video, you didn't even remove a sin for that sick intro. I mean, this is what you said.
No matter how much you dress up your logos creatively, there's still 39 seconds of logos. Can't have your brains and eat them too, Sony.
So why even pretend like this is something you wouldn't sin? Just say, we have a running gag because we have no idea how to open a video otherwise. At least that would be honest.
見てきていいですか?
水はわしが汲んでくる。
はい、父上。
Some of these subtitles are punctuated, and some are not. What kind of monster doesn't punctuate their subtitles?
Ha ha. CinemaSins didn't punctuate their subtitles, so this is self-deprecation deflection from their actual criticism, which is that the movie uses a question mark for a question, but not a period for a statement. The reason this is ridiculous is because this is how subtitles are for essentially 99% of all movies. Almost no one uses periods for statements because they are pointless for subtitles.
Given his wife's reaction, I'm guessing this declaration of love is surprising, and perhaps the first time he's ever said it, even though she already knew it in her heart, which means he and his family are going to get crushed by a tragedy in the next few minutes.
Or there is a culture difference at play here. Japanese men, historically, tended to be very stoic and didn't necessarily state their feelings to their wives, so when it happened, it was kind of a big deal. Besides, what is this stupid shit? I've seen the movie and am positioning this as a prediction? That's why this video is 27 minutes. Look, man, I like you and all, but this shit ain't funny. This is a waste of everyone's time.
Please focus all your attention on the gardening spade and the for-no-reason rope lying on the ground behind it. This will be important later. Don't know why there would be a rope here, but we're talking about Scorpion's weapons origin story, goddammit.
Exactly what I mean. You're watching a Mortal Kombat movie and are complaining about the origin of Scorpion's famous spear attack. It doesn't get much more stupid than that.
Doesn't Hanzo have a bunch of security, or at least farmhands, that can help out here? We only saw Sub-Zero take one of these bastards out, so why isn't anyone coming to their rescue during this protracted intimidation? And if they were fighting Sub's goons outside, as we're later led to believe, wouldn't we hear some of that?
For the life of me, I can't figure out why you sit here and outright lie about these movies. You said the movie only showed the Lin Kuei killing one of the Sentinels outside the home, but you completely cut out the part of this scene where you hear the Lin Kuei killing everyone else.
So future Sub-Zero kills future Scorpion's wife and son inside the house, and then he carried them outside to put on display? I would have spent large amounts of money to see this dude hauling a giant mom and son popsicle outside and getting their positioning just right. Also, did he stab her by sticking his hand outside the house and then back in? Because she and her son were standing with their backs to the wall before the movie cut away.
Yeah, it appears that way when you only show this part of the scene, but if you've been following my channel for any length of time, you'd know that CinemaSins is manipulating this yet again. In a better shot, you can see Hanzo's family is by the entrance of the house, and the wound the mother sustained is in her back. If you have a functioning brain, you'd understand that she tried to run away and was killed during the attempt.
This right here, up to and including the one-on-one, is the best fight of the movie by far. Fewest cuts, best choreography, and besides the CG blood spewing, very few effects. The problem, as you might imagine, is that it's only 6 minutes into the movie, so it's all downhill from here.
I pretty much agree with your sentiment, but this still counts as sinning something you like. CinemaSins fanboys are going to suggest that the sin here is for those particular fights, but since he's going to give those fights separate sins anyway, have a seat.
Also, this is how Scorpion gets his chain of death weapon. He seems like he's really good with a sword. And while I know this stabby yo-yo is iconic and shit, I'm wondering why he chose to stick with this throughout several centuries.
Because it's a ranged weapon that doesn't run out of ammo. Why limit yourself to only a katana when you can have a katana and the spear? Also, 150 cents for calling it a stabby yo-yo. That shit was cringe.
It really could have been anyone, though.
Since Bihan is literally the only person in the movie to show that he is capable of manipulating ice.
Earlier, you threatened Hanzo's wife looking for this guy. You were ready to fight him then and there. But after you killed his wife and son, you decided to let your asshole henchman fight him? Why weren't you there waiting when he discovered his wife's sculpture?
Because if you paid attention to the scene that you're referencing, Sub-Zero's dialogue indicates that he was actively looking for Scorpion, which means after he killed his wife, he went searching for him. He simply returned to this spot after he heard his henchmen fighting.
How is this guy alive? Did his daughter cry and give him backup power like he's Arnold in T2?
He is alive because he never went to the state dead. Also, Jeremy makes a pop culture reference.
Hanzo bursts into flames. Raiden shows up, sees the burn marks, picks up the ninja gardening spade. Figured out that it's a clue, I guess. Finds Hanzo's drawer daughter and leaves. I have no clue what just happened. I'm sure they'll explain it later, but I probably won't be interested then.
Raiden is a god in this universe. It's obvious that he was observing these events.
Also, Earthrealm.
Sinning something because you are unfamiliar with the source material. That's like sinning Scorpion's name. I mean, why didn't you do that? Scorpion is English and Hanzo is a Japanese man living in the 1600s. Why the does he know the word scorpion and what do scorpions have to do with him? Do you get it? The names and concepts are from a video game series, meaning you're not taking umbrage with the films, but the games themselves, making this sin void. If they didn't call it Earthrealm, that would have been an actual sin. It's the same issue I have when you send comic book films. You send the films for things the comic books created, which, if they didn't, the movie wouldn't exist at all. Which, of course, trashes your "the books don't matter" mantra.
Furthermore, after giving us a 10-minute opening involving future Scorpion and future Sub-Zero, the movie introduces the concept of fighting tournaments, as if that has anything to do with what we just saw.
You're literally sending the wrong thing. The words on the screen explicitly state that the tournaments have been going on for a while, and the resurrection of Scorpion will save Earthrealm. That has all to do with what we just saw, which was Scorpion dying and the reason for his rage. The actual sin here is this movie doesn't show the damn tournament.
Holy shit, the balcony's full at this place? I thought this was an extremely low-rent exhibition, where Cole's set up to be the tomato can that Bald Bull easily beats. Why the hell is it so heavily attended? Hell, it looks like it's even in the middle of the day, judging how bright it is outside when Jax walks in.
Aren't all of your questions being answered by the film? I mean, you ask, why is an MMA fight so heavily attended? You'd think the answer to that question was, because these people wanted to see it. I mean, do you think something like this is impossible or something? What if this was on Sunday?
Which means we could lose the 10th tournament.
Oh no, not the 10th tournament! Anything but that! The 10th tournament is so special! I mean, it's 10. The number 10, guys!
This is the guy who, 6 sins ago, was complaining about the details of the prophecy. He's now here high on his stupid pill because he forgot that this is the tournament that decides the fate of Earthrealm.
Winning Mortal Kombat cannot be left to chance.
You saw this asshole dressed just like this at every arcade back in 1992. That asshole's still on his first quarter, and god damn it, can I just play against the computer opponent just once?
What the fuck was that?
There will be no tournament because there'll be no opposition left to fight.
So he sends Sub-Zero to kill all of Earth's champions, but wouldn't that just mean all the Earth's second best would enter the tournament? You can't have a contract with Earth that says, we'll fight you in 10 tournaments, and if we win, we get to invade you, and then just not have the final tournament because you killed a handful of world-class fighters before it started.
That's kind of what the movie is saying, though. Unfortunately, this movie introduces the concept of arcana, which means if you don't have this goofy shit, you're going to get bodied by those that do. If they kill the people on Earth that have these abilities before the tourney, well, they win.
Oh, to have a vision like this, Cole must have touched the one sink of Sauron.
Jeremy makes a pop culture reference that isn't a sin of the movie cliche.
Also, Hanzo makes his brief appearance in the bathroom to tell Cole, I am your blood, and then disappear. In my experience, that's terrible communication. One time, Chris briefly appeared in my swimming pool and said, I am Edward Norton, but obviously nothing came of it.
27-minute video, guys. You want to know where CinemaSins went wrong? It's whatever variant told Jeremy he was Dave Chappelle's less talented cousin and that he should pursue a comedy career.
I was sent here from Outworld to this diner where I knew you'd be because of some sort of Outworld tracker magic.
You know who is also here? Jax, a regular soldier. Did he have Outworld tracker magic? Or did he just follow Cole to this location? You know, the same thing Sub-Zero did?
Holy f***, look at this poor bastard. He took a snowball in the face and dropped like a sack of potatoes. Is he dead? I'm pretty sure he's dead. Let's check again. Probably. Not quite sure. Let's see it again. Okay, now it's starting to get sad, but one more time. He's totally dead. Damn it, SZ. What did this asshole ever do to you?
This is pretty funny. I mean, I am laughing, but this still counts as sinning something you like because it's quite obvious you were having a little bit too much fun here.
The ice is smashing all the glass in the diner, but it's somehow foiled by Jax's truck.
Well, yeah, the glass in a vehicle's windscreen and passenger windows are quite a bit tougher than your run-of-the-mill building window. I mean, they kind of have to be, considering vehicles are made to withstand impacts and such. If the windows of a car were made of the same glass as a building's windows, you wouldn't have to worry about a car crash killing you because the glass would do so before you could worry.
Look, that's impossible.
Guy with an impossible dragon birthmark tells another guy that his dragon birthmark is impossible.
Out of all the times you misuse the word convenience, the one time it would be warranted is the one you don't use it. If I weren't an elite wrinkle brain, I'd start to assume that you were being dumb on purpose. But it's clear that it's on accident.
I'm not the fighter that I used to be, okay?
No but they don't have the market. So like it or not, Cole, you're the guy.
So wait, does Earth have any say in who they send to defend themselves?
Oh, they can say whatever they want. The point is they're going to hold the L if they don't do it the right way.
And they will kill whoever they have to get to you.
That's a lot of twos in that sentence, but anyway, why would they need to kill anyone to get this person when they can just clearly show up outside a random diner where they happen to be?
It's almost like the movie is saying they can't just randomly show up where they happen to be outside of knowing where they are first. Also, it was only 3 twos.
Seriously, this is just like any dickhead demon in a horror movie. Is there a reason Sub-Zero was f***ing around with Jax here instead of meeting him head on and kicking his ass? Is paranormal activities Toby his eventual descendant?
Clearly, Subs is trying to get the jump on Jax. I mean, he makes a comment about it in the movie itself.
So you can play hide and seek.
This ain't a freeze, it's a goddamn arm break.
Jeremy sings in a video cliche.
Seems like Jax could have warned Cole about how to approach Sonya's domicile or radioed Sonya about a potential visitor, so this fight didn't need to happen.
Jax did tell Sonya about Cole. The problem is Jax abandoned the car to go fight Sub-Zero. This means a random person sneaking into her hideout is cause for alarm, especially because a murderous Iceman is on the loose.
I'm surprised Sonya doesn't walk into her own house punching the tables and chairs, just in case they're spies.
Oh, I just gave you the laugh you were looking for, since you want to be a clown.
The target had the same marking you do, Cole. When Jax finally took it down, the dragon marking transferred directly onto his skin.
You just said this target took out your unit in mere seconds. How the f*** did Jax get around to killing it? I mean, Jesus, do you yada yada much?
Do you seriously require an explanation for how a soldier took out an enemy? He fucking shot it. You complained about Jax expositing in the beginning of this video, and now you're here asking for it.
Did you make that last part up?
You, dude. You just saw a guy who made it snow and then created an ice storm right in front of your eyes. You were concerned enough to travel to Gary, Indiana to find someone named Sonya Blade. Your incredulousness at this point is poor form.
Basically, everything you just said applies to you, Jeremy. It's sad that you don't realize it. Also funny.
Remember that the Outworld crew has a big-ass Goro, but to finish this process, they elect to send in the discount Killer Croc.
Goro is a prince, and Reptile is an assassin. You do the math.
It's fair to share if you care that they had a spare flare over there to spare.
I would sigh, but why try, because I have rolled my eye to the sky.
Kinda wins.
That sound you hear is the sound of a million simultaneous ejaculations from MK fanboys, and I guess whatever happens to women from fangirls?
Sinning fan service, eh? But didn't you earlier ask for fan service with the studio logos?
Years of research just destroyed.
If only I hadn't kept everything I discovered on that one giant board that could easily be tarnished by fire or a roof leak or an accidental spill from my coffee mug.
Besides the fact that a fire or a roof leak are exceedingly rare occurrences, Jeremy is actually suggesting here that you can spill coffee on an entire wall. Spill coffee on a wall.
$2 million.
You live in this shithole, and you got $2 million.
You're gonna give that guy $3 million?
No. I live in this hole. You think I got $3 million?
And yet, in the very next scene, here they are on the plane without Sonya even having to prove she has $3 million.
I think you missed what Kano said in this scene. He was talking directly to you.
Great. Sounds like we got a deal.
I was gonna head there anyway. You fucking idiot.
The only thing missing from this scene is no doubt just a girl, I guess. It's like the movie needed to prove Sonya was a badass, so here's this fight out of nowhere. Besides, she can't kill Kano. They still need to know where Raiden's temple is, and he's the only one who knows.
This fight is not out of nowhere. Kano and Sonya have previous beef. They have literally been jabbing at each other the entire time. Besides, Kano picked this fight with Sonya because he knows she wants the dragon marking. Imagine complaining about there being fights in a martial arts movie.
Finally, you have come to seek out Raiden's temple.
What do you mean, finally? Hardly anybody knows where this is.
Hence the word, finally.
Follow me.
And then they go in the exact opposite direction they were headed. What the I guess it was lucky Liu Kang ran into them, huh?
It's almost like that's exactly what the physical comedy you're showing on the screen is saying, huh?
We don't have much time.
It feels like someone f***ed us up if they only have a couple weeks to train. How is this going to go down if the people with the markings were never told to come here? Or if Kano didn't somehow know the location by chance? Would Mortal Kombat have begun at a Nashville McDonald's? Since the markings have a supernatural quality, you'd think they'd point the fighters in the right direction? At least they'd know what was at stake.
For all that complaining you did about prophecies, you sure as hell aren't realizing that's what's at play here. They were destined to reach this location. That's what a prophecy is.
Now what? You gonna make a door appear out of nowhere?
I thought Kano ran guns through this temple for some reason, and that's why he knew where it was. But now that they've gotten here, I don't have any idea why he would have run guns through this place, and he seems to be unaware of anything related to the temple. Or maybe Kano's knowledge was all a lie, so the movie could get here?
If you listen to what Kano actually says, it all makes sense.
You're trying to get to Raiden's temple, aren't you? That should be fun.
You know where that is?
Yeah, I used to run guns through there. The locals wouldn't shut the fuck up about it.
Legends.
When he says the locals wouldn't shut up about it, he's implying he ran guns in the general area, not the temple itself.
It has been my charge to gather all the champions of Earth. By the time I found Jax, I was too late.
You mean you were looking for him before he got his arms tore off by Sub-Zero? Gosh darn it, you just couldn't find him until the week he got killed? Then, using the super sleuth skills you clearly don't possess, you found him in this building, and then what did you do? You were able to pull this dude out of that pity felon and managed to take him to a private airfield, and nobody saw you carrying around an armless black man? I don't believe your story, Liu Kang!
Liu Kang didn't say he was specifically looking for Jax. He said he was looking for all the champions of Earthrealm. Sonya and Jax took 7 years doing that same thing. Clearly, this is a difficult task. Jax got his marking from killing a superhuman 7 years ago, meaning Liu Kang was most likely looking for that person first, and when he found him dead, began looking for who killed him. This took years because searching for a jet-setting mercenary is like trying to find a needle in a haystack. However, when Outworld made their move and Sub-Zero showed up attacking a small town with witnesses, that made it a whole lot easier finding Jax.
You are in no physical or mental shape to fight.
I've got the marking, asshole. There's no choice.
Jeremy yells at the screen cliche.
The time has come to end this.
Okay, so is now the time? I thought the time was when you sent Sub-Zero to kill Cole. Then it was when you sent Alligator Loki to Sonya's compound. I'm just saying, I'm getting a real Soul Eater Who Cried Wolf vibe off Shang Tsung.
Calling Reptile Alligator Loki. That's worth these many sins.
Raiden shoots a giant lightning bolt that somehow manages to go through rock to form this perfect barrier between he and the bad guys.
What part of Raiden is a god did you not understand? Gods can perform all kinds of crazy feats, from killing the invincible Nemean lion to convincing people he'd return during their lifetimes.
Your inner power comes from your arcana.
It's weird that you say that, since my power comes from skip. These are some sick moves and stuff, but honestly, I did the same once just by mashing down all the buttons at once on the arcade game at my local Funland. Really pissed off the kids that had the combinations memorized. What a bunch of f***ers.
I don't really care about anything you just said other than this scene being sick moves and stuff. This is probably the lamest fight in a movie filled with lame fights. Come on, man.
How do I find my arcana?
It must come from your soul.
Seems like this could have been discussed before they were in the fighting pit, and since we've been told they have no time, not telling him earlier is malpractice.
Yeah, that's not true. It's an ability born of fighting, therefore it must have come from having a reason to fight. In Kano's case, it comes from his anger and willingness to jump into a fracas. Cole's comes from a desire to protect his family. So all Liu Kang is saying here is he needs to find a reason to fight, and that's what the training was meant to do.
Terrible fighter. Zero skill.
Do none of the experienced fighters, especially Raiden, sense that Kano is a bad guy? And unlocking his arcana will help them? Like, if antagonizing a racist pig by calling him names is the way to his power, doesn't that signify a giant red flag?
You've spent a significant portion of this video saying they have no choice. Now you're arguing against that mantra. Do they have a choice or not, Jeremy? I'm having a hard time keeping up with the flip-flop.
It's at this point that Cole is asking himself, how do I work this? And this is not my beautiful wife, and how did I get here?
What?
You have failed to find the arcana. Without it, you are a liability to the others.
In a tournament setting, why would one person's lack of skill be a liability to the others? This isn't a tag team match, is it?
Since there are multiple fighters, clearly the team with the most fighters remaining wins the tournament. Did you not watch Dragon Ball Super?
Hanzo descended into the nether realm, the farthest reaches of hell, endlessly searching for revenge.
Why did he go to hell? Why is he searching for revenge in hell? Why is he even allowed to search for revenge in hell?
Scorpion went to hell because he was a killer ninja in his previous life. Pretty sure killing people takes you there. Also, he wasn't searching for revenge in hell. Raiden meant he was looking for a way to escape the Netherrealm. Did you not watch the 5th season of 7 Deadly Sins?
The great hunter, Netara.
Do we seriously not have enough characters that have been introduced at this point in the movie? I'm pretty sure there are fewer heroes and villains in all of the actual video game iterations combined.
Don't be sure about things you don't know shit about. There are only 16 characters in this movie, but the game has over 70 playable characters. 70. And they still somehow made Cole a thing.
I must find a way to bring his shield down.
Did you see a guy down there? Complete asshole. Answers to Kano. He's the reason I live in an iron lung.
Furthermore, why does Outworld have a chosen fighter that was previously beaten by someone from Earth?
What are you even trying to say here? They weren't fighting in the tournament, so what the hell does this matter? If you're saying that Kano would simply win again, that would also be false, because Cabal obviously didn't manifest his arcana at that time, otherwise Kano would have known about the concept already.
Just wait here.
What was Cole's plan here? He knows the baddies are hunting him, so why didn't he go straight for the car instead of hanging inside for a while? Did he need a Gatorade or something?
What in the blue hell are you talking about? At this point in the movie, Cole has basically given up, and Raiden opened a portal and told him to return to his family. You're asking him to continue running. Run where? It's clear they'll never give up searching for him. Why do you think getting in a car is going to do literally anything?
Kano's laser is able to turn off Raiden's electric boundary, because I guess it's powered by this dragon statue? I clearly haven't smoked enough weed to understand this yet.
Is it that difficult to understand, though? Raiden's staff is what's powering the force field, and Kano destroys the staff, thereby disabling the field. This man thinks he has to do AP calculus to understand something the movie is spoon-feeding him.
Shang Tsung's here to ding-a-ding-dang my dang-a-long-ling-long.
Jeremy says boner.
Guys, is it possible that the Goro effects were actually better in the 1995 version of this movie?
Well, that all comes down to if you prefer CGI to animatronics, but as far as which one looks better, this is what Goro looks like in the games. This is what he looked like in 1995, and this is what he looks like now. The one that actually looks like the source material wins. Flawless victory.
Both women are badasses, but have to fight each other instead of dudes cliché.
Well, I guess what you're saying is you want to see women getting punched in the face by dudes. You know, because that's the natural outcome here. Women fight other women because it's fair. It's the same reason we don't put Ronda Rousey against Anderson Silva. Fairness. Heck, I'd love for Hollywood to drop the whole, this 110-pound woman just took out a gang of 200-pound mercenaries. At least the cliche makes sense.
This is not the blood of a chosen one.
Why didn't you know that before you licked your sigh? The movie has shown throughout that the people of Outworld know exactly where the chosen ones are at any given moment. You'd think that at the very least someone like Shang Tsung would be like, Sonya isn't one of them, or they'd have the sense to know she wasn't.
Do you think they had time to discern who had the dragon mark, or they just thought it would make more sense to kill everyone, Jer?
We won't show you the impending gore, but how do you introduce a character with bat wings who's supposed to be a badass just for her to die like a chump?
Die like a chump? Fam, she got hit with a fatality from Kung Lao. She should be honored.
Now I tear out your spine.
Honestly, who narrates their actions like this before they do them? Next time I go to lunch, I'm going to loudly pronounce, "Now I eat this delicious bowl of poutine and wash it down with ice cold Mr. Pibb."
Drinking Mr. Pibb instead of Dr. Pepper. That's worth these many sins.
Cole's arcana comes from his family, which, no That's all he ever talks about, which is why he should have found his arcana way earlier than this, and it shouldn't have been a problem.
No, Cole's arcana is armor. It manifests from his desire to protect his family. Get it? Before this, he had no reason to believe his family had ever been in danger. You are awful at watching movies, even dumb ones like this.
I don't know if this concept ripped off Black Panther's energy-absorbing suit, or if Black Panther ripped off this video game, but that. I'm siding with T'Challa and calling this the replica. Wakanda forever!
It's almost like you can easily Google Cole and find out he's an original creation for this movie. Imagine using the internet to make videos, but forgetting to use that same tool for information. You remind me of those dudes that ask easily Googleable questions on social media.
Okay, so Jax gets his arcana when he tries to lift this rock off Sonya Blade. I don't know how he was supposed to find this during battle, which is how everyone else found theirs, so I have to come to the conclusion that the power of boners just made Jax's mechanical arms 10 million times stronger.
As Liu Kang mentioned earlier, arcana is derived from one's soul. Considering he's here trying to save his partner Sonya, Jeremy says boner.
He's about to get his soul sucked.
I hate it when someone has the upper hand in a fight and gets distracted by porn.
Well, when it's Hoshi doing the sucking, I'm dropping everything too.
Why couldn't you save him?
The gods are forbidden from engaging in one realm's war against another. It is my job to protect Earthrealm, but I cannot save every soul within it.
Oh, eat a Raiden. First off, what is portaling everyone away from a battle if you don't classify it as engaging? And no one's asking you to save every soul within Earthrealm, just the 5 people who are staying at your temple. Furthermore, a minute ago, when you shot your lightning portals everywhere, you were 2 for 5. You had no idea where those lightning bolts were going. It was like watching someone pee after having sex.
First of all, the pee thing only happens the day after having sex. Pro tip, pee directly after having sex. Just trust me on this one. Second, clearly engaging in a battle means fighting. That's obviously what the movie is saying. Hell, if you played the games, you'd know that Raiden entering the fray messes up everything there too.
Lou and I will take Melina and Cabal. I know this is personal for you.
Why do these 2 pairs of fighters get sent to the same place, while each of the other fighters gets sent to separate places? Also, while Liu Kang may have an axe to grind, he doesn't have anything personal with the 2 fighters Cole just mentioned. His beef is with Shang Tsung.
You have to be deliberately missing the point here. No one is this stupid. Liu's cousin just got killed. When Cole said it's personal, that's all he meant. Not to mention Cabal was the one preventing him from helping Kung Lao in the first place.
What about Sub-Zero? Nobody's taking him out one-on-one.
What about Sub-Zero is so amazing that he becomes the ultimate boss of this movie? Yeah, the ability to form ice out of his hands is a crazy good skill. But that's why all you assholes found your arcana, because you now have a thing just like Sub-Zero does.
While I agree that this role should have been Goro's, Sub-Zero is clearly the most powerful of all the fighters here, something the movie explicitly demonstrates. I mean, his ice passed through Liu Kang's fire like it was a lukewarm fart.
Oh yeah, I remember this level from the video game where you could fight in a gently used double wide in Gary, Indiana. One of my faves.
Dude, you don't know shit about the games. You just asked whether or not Cole was ripping off Black Panther. F*** off.
Oh, Liu Kang just held his low kick button for 3 seconds, then released. That's all we gotta do in life, fellas. Find that special low kick button.
First of all, it was 5 seconds, not 3, but bicycle kick is currently back forward 4. Get with the times, old man.
Finally, the Hasashi bloodline will end.
You still don't know why this guy has such a hard-on for this bloodline, and there's like 12 minutes left in the movie.
We still don't know? Speak for yourself. Most of us watching this movie are fans. We know the Lin Kuei and Shirai Ryu have eternal beef that goes back centuries. Those that don't are the girlfriends quietly asking questions in the theater.
Because reasons.
I feel like in a universe with people that can control ice, grow organic armor, and teleport with electricity, this shouldn't be that unbelievable. I mean, he spent 400 years in the Netherrealm. If people can learn to play piano in a few years, controlling Hellfire in 400 is a piece of cake.
Well, I guess that's the end of that. There's no way subs survive that, and we'll be back for the obvious sequel that they set up at the end of this movie. Nope. No way this franchise would retcon the death of such a beloved figure that met such an epic end.
Noob Saibot isn't a retcon. The elder Sub-Zero is dead. He becomes a wraith in the same way that Hanzo did to become Scorpion. The younger Sub-Zero is a good guy.
I thought you said you couldn't get involved.
And that's all the movie has to say about that. Remember when Raiden was a fighter you could play in the game? What happened to that in the movies? Why is Raiden just a guide or referee in both the 1995 film and this one?
As explained earlier, Raiden entering Mortal Kombat caused a significant issue amongst the Elder Gods, which wound up with Raiden's becoming human and Liu Kang becoming the Fire God. Yeah, Mortal Kombat is pretty lit.
Now sit down, shut up, and pass me a fucking egg roll! That was it, wasn't it? Ah, laser beam! It's better than fireballs, you pussy!